Hi everyone, welcome to NDVA educational YouTube channel. Today our Python program was Python if else. In this program, first I will read the program requirement. After that, I will explain how to develop code for this program. Coming to this program, first they provided a task, so I will read this task. Given an integer n, perform the following conditional actions. In this program statement, first line they provided an integer with the name n, and they ask us to perform the following conditional actions. Coming to the conditions, I will read one by one. Coming to the first one, if n is odd, and print weird as output. This means whenever n value will be odd, we need to print our output as weird. Here n is integer. First they mentioned n is integer. So integer means we can take any numbers. So the number will be odd. Then we can directly print our output as weird. This is the first condition meaning. Coming to the second condition, if n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, then need to print not weird as output. So by observing in this condition, we have two conditions present. First one is n is even, and second one is in the inclusive range of 2 to 5. Whenever n value will be even, and second condition was in the inclusive range of 2 to 5. Basically, inclusive range means first number and last number in the range also included in the range. It means 2 and 5 also included in the range of 2 to 5. This is the meaning for the inclusive range. Whenever these two conditions are satisfying, then only we need to print this as our output. Coming to the third condition, this is also similar to the second condition, but range is different comparing to the second condition. Here provided 6 to 20. In above condition they provided 2 to 5. And coming to the last condition, this is also similar to second and third, but the difference is they didn't provided any range. Instead of that, they provided one condition which is n value is greater than 20. Then we need to print our output as not weird. This is our program requirement. After reading the program requirement also, we might have some confusions present. Those confusions are what we need to take our input was, what we need to take our input was, and what we need to take print our output was. These are the two confusions we may have after reading the program requirement also. For that we can go through below sample input and sample outputs. Here they provided clearly what we need to take our input for this particular program requirement, what we need to print our output for this program requirement, how input and output coming, explanation also provided. For this, in this program sample input, they take one number which is in single line only. For that they printed weird as output. So I will explain why weird they printed. So I will check which condition this number satisfying first. Coming to the first line, n is odd. So here 3 is odd, right? So they directly print weird as output. So here they printed weird as output. Instead of 3, we can take 5, 7, 1, 9, 11, like that. Any odd numbers we can directly print weird as our output. And coming to the second sample input output example also, here they take 24 as input and they printed not weird. So I will check which condition 24 satisfies. Coming to the conditions, here fourth condition, n is even, so 24 is even, right? And coming to the second condition in the last condition was greater than 20. So yeah, 24 is greater than 20, right? So final last condition satisfying the input, so we need to print not weird as our output. This is the program requirement. We need to understand clearly like this. After understanding the program requirement, then only we can develop our code correctly. Before starting the code, I would like to highlight two important things to remember. First one was we need to remember syntax program by program, because I started the programs easy levels to difficult levels, right? So it helps to remember syntax. Then only we can able to write our code for any program requirement. And coming to the second thing, we need to practice more programs, because why I am highlighting, practicing in programming has many advantages. First one is we can able to remember syntax correctly, because while writing our code we can by practicing we can get lot of errors. At the time only we can understand what our mistakes and what we need to correct syntax. Apart from that, we can develop our code in multiple ways. That is the best main advantages of practicing programs. These are the two things I want to be highlighted. And coming to the code, I will explain how to develop code. First we need to take input, right? So I will write int input of, this is the syntax. We need to read any integer like this, int input of, this is the syntax. So I will store this syntax in some variable. So I will take n as variable. We can take any name for the variable. The main purpose of this variable was we can variable can able to store any type of data, integer data, float data, and string data. The main purpose of this variable is to storage of data. We can directly use that variable in our code after while developing our code. So I will read the integer number like this. So please remember how I develop the code. And coming to the second line, I will write conditions one by one. Here the first condition provided, if n is odd, we need to print weird. So I will write in the if condition, if n modulo 2 equal to 1, then print in double. We need to write our output in double quotes, because this is the this one we want to need print, right? So I directly copy and paste this, because according to the program requirement we need to print the weird, right? So whenever n value will be odd, we need to print this as our output. So I will take this as this in printing statement. So beginners, please watch repetitively, because this is the important point. Here in this condition, if means condition, when only n is odd, we need to print this as output. Here this condition shows n modulo 2 equal to 1 means n value is odd, and other than n modulo 2 equal to 0 means n is even number. So if n modulo 2 equal to 1 means whenever n is odd, we need to print weird as our output. So first condition I completed to write my code. Coming to the second condition, multiple times if condition we are unable to use, that is also one syntax we need to follow. And I will take elif. We can write our conditions, multiple conditions in elif condition. So in elif I will write the second condition. In this second condition they provided if n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, right? So I will read n modulo 2 equal to, here I will take 0, because n is even means n modulo 2 equal to 0. This is the way we need to represent our number was even. This is the way we need to represent our number was odd. and here they provided two conditions, right? So I will take directly end means both condition needs to be satisfying. They provided range, right? So I will take range 2 in between n. So 2 and 6 are present, this n value is present in between 2 and 6, and 2 and 6 also, 2 and 5, sorry, 2 and 5 also included. This is the way to represent our inclusive range, and we need to print our output as not weird. Whenever this condition satisfying, we need to print our corresponding output like this. We can use single quotes or double quotes as I mentioned in the introduction video, and I will write elif. Here this condition is same, right, apart from range. So I will directly copy this line. I will use here also same line. I will change the range 6 to 20. And they want us to print weird, right? So I did already used here to print weird. So I directly copy here and paste here. And final condition, if n is even and greater than 20, so we can directly not need to write this condition also. We can directly use else statement. If statement is used, right? For closing if statement we need to use else as closing statement. So I am taking else and I will directly print here as not weird. So I will use this one. So I will try to execute this program. First, after completing our program, we need to run our program, because in runtime we have some test cases are present. In submit time we have more test cases. We might have more test cases comparing to the runtime test cases. So here two test cases are passed. In post test case they take 3 as input, and second test case they take 24 as input. Like this they tested multiple scenarios. This is the simple program, right? They tested only 2 ways, and this is one way to write our code according to the program requirement. I will explain another way to write this code in different way. Here first we printed weird, right? So we can check which condition weird is there. So first condition weird is there, and the third condition weird is there. So I will directly copy this condition till then, and directly I will use this. Either this condition needs to be satisfied or this condition needs to be satisfied. Either one of the conditions satisfying, we can directly print weird as our output. So I will use R. So either this one or this one, which one condition satisfying also, we can directly print this as our output. So I will copy here and I will remove this, and this also not required because the range here 6 to 20, right? And odd number, remaining print statement will be directly not weird only. So I will delete this condition also. Why? Because in else condition we directly write not weird as our output. If this condition not satisfying, remaining these two conditions only, right? Not weird, this one and this one. In else condition we directly provided if not executed this thing, we can directly provide not weird as remaining two conditions. So I will try to run this code. So in this way also we can write our code. Here why I am explaining this, because we can write our code multiple ways. Someone might write this code in single line only. We Because Python has the ability to write code in less lines and accurately and efficiently. So I will directly submit this my code. Here they test my code like seven ways. First two ways we have possibility to view our sample test cases. In this test case they taken 24 as input. If you want to see these test cases, we need to unlock here. So here they use 4 as input. Like this they uses lot of test cases. In this way we can develop our program for any program, because here the main intention was we need to learn the programs from very basics, so that only we can understand from simple levels to difficult levels. In this way we can easily develop our code for any programs also. If you have any doubts, please ping in comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you all.